Hey there, this is Renee with Lakeside Petals. Thank you for joining me today as we create another variation of the Calah template that is available in my Etsy shop. Today we're going to be making this style, which is going to have a nice fold in the middle there. We're not going to do any curling, that's all we're going to do to this one. So let me show you what we're going to do to get started. We are using templates 7, 5, and 3 to make this one. And what we're going to start off doing is we are going to simply trace all of our petals, okay, onto a piece of paper. Now, I was able to get all of them onto one piece of paper to where I use 3 sheets of paper and I can cut out 6 each. So I have 3 here, that makes 6, 6, and 6. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put all 3 of these pieces of paper together, grab my scissors, and I am just going to cut these out. Okay, I will save you from the boringness and the monotony of me cutting this, and we'll move on. You also want to cut out a base. This is a 4-inch base that I'm using today. So just trace a hexagon shape onto a piece of paper and you're going to cut that out as well. I'm going to go ahead and do that and we'll continue in just a second. Great, now that we have everything cut out, I have 6 petals of each size. I like to keep them separated into groups of 3. Remember, that's how I cut each one out, and I keep them separate. This is going to help us when we go to cut the slit up and fold them and all that good stuff. So that is why I do that. Now, the first thing that we're going to do is let's get our base ready. So we have our hexagon base. I always put a little hang tab on the back of mine to make it easier for the customer to hang or for you to hang. What we're going to do is we're going to make this even going all the way around. So we are going to put our ruler onto each side of our hexagon. And we're going to make a mark at 1 inch. And then we're going to move our template to the other side. And we're going to mark at 1. Okay, go all the way around and do every side. This is going to help us to line up our very first row of petals. Let's do 2 more sides here. 1 more. So just leave the ruler where it is and move your template. And it should look like this. That is going to help us to get everything lined up perfectly straight all the way around. Once you have your first row, every other row builds off of that one. So you want to make sure you get that one correct. Now, the next thing we do is we're going to take in groups of 3 and we're going to cut a slit right up the middle. I like to go fairly generous with mine. What this is doing is when we bring our petals together, that is going to decide how high up. Now, if we just do this, you see how low, can you see how low that is? See, that's not very much, right? But if we bring it all the way over like this, see how that petal completely sticks up? It just gives it some dimension. So what we're going to do is on our first, I'm just going to measure down here real quick. We're going to go up 3.5 inches on our very first petal, so the largest petal. So let's do that for all 6 of those. And I just double check it with my other one and make sure we're good. Good to go. Then our next one, My guess is we are going to go to, let's see, about 3 inches on that one. And the same thing here. So it's usually about a 1/2 inch difference. And our next one, our last and smallest petal, and we're going to go to 3 inches. Oh, I lied. Sorry. No, we're going to 2 inches on that one. Why did I say 3? 2 inches. Now that we have that done, the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to take them in stacks of 3, and we are going to bend them right in half. So what we're doing is creating that crease down the middle. See the crease? That's what we're doing now. So let's do that real quick with all of our petals. There we go. And keep going. Now that we have all of our petals folded, we are going to start bringing them over just like that. Okay, so this is why we do this. If we went just there, like I was saying earlier, you're not going to get a whole lot going on in your petal. But if you bring it over, then you get a nice curve there. Also, make sure that you're not just kind of sticking it over to where you end up with like a hole in here. We don't want a hole in there. So you want to come up, make sure you go all the way up to the end of that and then over. So we just need a little bit of glue. Up and over. The goal is to try and get all of them the same. Don't worry about if a little bit of glue gets on there, that's not a big deal. But you want to try to get them all in this row, in this layer, all exactly the same. And that's going to make all of your petals in that layer stand up the same amount. So we're going to go through every single one of these and do that. now that we have all of our petals styled, we are going to start assembling our flower. So we're going to start off with our largest petal. And we are going to add some glue to the back. And that's where we're going to use this line. And we're going to make sure that we put it right into the middle and just push. So we're going to go right to our line that we have. Push down. And go to the next one. And same thing, and go around. You can see that the glue on certain pieces of paper and certain colors, the glue does discolor the paper a little bit, but don't worry, it'll go away. It's no big deal. So just ignore that depending on what color paper you are using. And we're going to keep going all the way around with our first row, putting them all right in the center. Just go right to our line, right in the middle, and push. Now we're going to go to our next size petals. And we are going to add some glue to the back. And we're going to place this right in the same exact spot, right in the middle of these two petals. So we're going to go directly into the middle with this second layer. Add more glue. Same spot, right there in the middle. Push down. Rotate our flower. And we're going to continue with all 6 of these petals as well. That one's kind of sticking up a little bit. I think I'm going to add just a little bit more glue to that one. There we go. Oh my goodness, these glue strings. Did I get some glue on my petal? I did. Okay. All right, almost done with this layer. Right in the middle. Turn our last one. Right in the middle there. Now we're on our third layer. Our third layer, we are going to come in a little bit. Okay, but we are still going to try to line up this line with this line. Can you see that? So now we're in between these two petals, but we're lining up our point with our very first row. So let's add some glue to the back. Come in a little bit and line it up with this one. And turn. Now we're going to be lining it up with this one in between these two. So you're skipping a layer when you're lining it up. So we're lining this up with our layer number 1. And we're in between our layer number 2. Another one. Line it straight up. There we go. Rotate. Go right there. And let's turn, and we got 2 more. And our last petal. Line that right up there. Then you just add a center of your choice, and there you go. Now you have the Calah template styled with just a crease down the middle. Thanks for watching and have a great day.